Hi, this is Shaylee from Eide Bailly Technology Consulting. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create memorized transactions in NetSuite. You can do memorized transactions on almost any transaction throughout NetSuite. However, what I see them used frequently for are journal entries that you're creating at month end, so the routine journal entries, as well as vendor bills or invoices that are the same month over month. The example that we're going to be using today is a vendor bill. What we're going to be doing is a rental. So the first step is to actually find a transaction, or you can actually create a transaction that you want to memorize. So I'm going to go into a vendor record, and underneath the financial subtab here, then there's a transactions subtab. I'm actually just going to pull up a vendor bill that I created last month. So we're just going to start with that. You can also create a transaction from scratch, either way. It is important that you're in edit mode, otherwise you're not going to see the memorize option. So the first thing you're going to do is open up a bill or create a bill, and you want to create it exactly how it should be replicated each month. So in our case, it's a vendor bill for $5,000 for rental. So I'm going to go to Actions and Memorize. If you go to Actions and don't see the Memorize icon, chances are you're not in the edit mode. So this is going to take us to a screen where we can actually identify how frequently this transaction is created in the system. Make sure that you name it something that makes sense. So I'm going to call this Building 1. You can set it to post automatically. I'm going to leave it to remind me. That way I can show you guys how you would actually go in and manually kick off these memorized transactions. If you do select automatically, there's nothing that you need to do. It will just automatically post each month. So the frequency, we're going to set it monthly. That's probably the most common one that I see, but you can see that there's a lot of different options. Also, there's a custom option. If you were to select this, then the grayed out options down here become available, and you can define your own custom recurrence pattern. If you are in a role that allows you to post in a locked period, you are going to see this option. In that case, you could mark it if you wanted to, so that the transaction you're memorizing can still post even if the period is locked. If you do not have the permissions to post in a locked period, you will not be able to select this option. On vendor bills, we wouldn't want to select that, so I'm just going to leave that blank. Okay, the override posting period. If I select this, it actually allows me to identify the date that the transaction is created in the system, as well as the date that the transaction actually is posted in the system. For a vendor bill, we would want those to be one and the same. I'm going to leave that unmarked, and we're going to have this go ahead and create our transaction on the 15th of the month. Remind me forever obviously is going to keep going until you manually stop it. If it's a contract, you may want to do a number remaining and define the number of transactions that are remaining in the contract. We'll act like ours is a 12-month contract, or 12 months remaining. If you leave update address and update prices blank, it will take the address or price that was on the original transaction, the one that you've memorized, and that is the one that it will use going forward. If you were to mark update address or update prices, it's actually going to look into the vendor or customer record for the new and the most current address. And the same for the price. It'll look in the item record and see if the price has been updated since the time that you memorized the transaction. If it has, it will actually pull forward the most recent address or item price. Since we're doing a vendor bill, I'm going to select the update address. That way it always will have the most recent vendor address. Okay, that's it. So we're going to save our memorized transaction. And you can see that it's here now. Our McGeever property management for building. The next date that it should be created is June 15th. There's 12 remaining. I'm sorry. Okay, so if we go to our home dashboard, I'm going to show you how to add a reminder onto your home dashboard that'll help you remember when you need to go in and post your memorized transactions. So hover over your reminders portlet, choose Setup, search for your memorized transactions due reminder. And I know that your selection, what you have selected on this right-hand side, may be different than what I do. I'm going to move mine up into the headline just to make it easy to see for the recording. And then I'm going to show reminders with 0 results. just for our example. Now, right now, I know that it shows that there's 0 memorized transactions due. The reason for that is if I select this edit icon, you can actually see that it only is going to remind you 5 days before the next due date. Well, today's the 5th, and I said that the transaction isn't due to be posted until the 15th, so that's more than 5 days away, so it's not going to remind me yet. So I'm going to bump this up to 30, just so that we can actually see our memorized transaction. You can obviously set that preference to be whatever makes the most sense for you. Okay, now I can see that we have one memorized transaction due. If I select that icon, it's going to take me directly into the page that I need to go to in order to create this memorized transaction. There are a couple different ways to actually create your transaction. The first is if you select the enter icon here, I'm going to just open this up in a new tab. That takes you directly into the memorized transaction. At this point, I can make any changes if I need to. Let's say I want to put an invoice number in here. I could go ahead and add my invoice number, update the memo if needed, and then click Save. And that's all I need to do. This method right here is kind of similar to copying the prior month. Okay, alternatively, from this list, I could actually go through and select all of the ones that I want to enter. So there could be, 10, 20, however many you have in this list. And then I would hit submit. Now, one thing that's important though before we hit submit is you can see that there's a date and a used next date option. If I have used next date selected, then the transaction will be posted on the date that shows up in this column. If I do not have it selected, then the transaction is going to be created and posted on this date. So it defaults to today. I want it to be created on the 15th, or I'm sorry, I want the transaction date to be the 15th. It will be created today. So I'm going to select use next date and then hit submit. This is going to take us to a bulk processing screen so that we can see how the batch is going. Now it won't take very long because we just have one transaction. Okay, you can see that it's in progress now. Okay, and there we go. It's complete with no errors. I'm going to click on the complete link, and it actually takes me in and shows me all the transactions that were created. So now I can click on that bill, and it takes me right into it. So I can see that it's dated the 15th, $5,000. That's the correct vendor. We're good to go. So that's how you create and then also process your memorized transactions. The third step to memorize transaction is actually how to update them. So let's say that the contract has changed and for some reason our rent is getting bumped up to, let's say, $6,000 a month. So obviously I want to make a change to my memorized transaction. That way I don't have to come in here every single month and manually update it up to $6,000. So you can go to your list of all of your memorized transactions. You find that under Financial, Lists, Enter Memorized Transactions, and List. That's if you're in the Accounting Center. If you have a different navigation up here, you can also find it by just typing in Page and Memorized Transactions. It's right there. That will take you to the same listing of all of your memorized transactions. So first you'll notice that the next time that our McGeever property management bill is going to be posted is in July. Okay, $5,000, and now there's 11 remaining because we posted the first month. Okay, so I'm going to act like I'm going to enter this. So I'm just going to select the enter option here. You can tell that this took me directly into the memorized transaction. Now I'm just going to make the changes that I want. So we're taking it to 6,000. That's everything that I need to do on mine. If I were to click Save on this, this is going to create the next month's transaction, but it will not save that $6,000 as the new monthly amount. You must hit Actions and Memorize in order to save this change on the memorized transaction. Now, we'll give you this warning message. If you select OK, it'll actually create a second memorized transaction. Then we would have 2 out there for McGeever Property Management. That's not what we want to do. We want to update the existing memorized transaction. So in our case, we need to select Cancel. So click Cancel to update the memorized transaction. That one always seems a little counterintuitive to me. So just remember, OK creates a second one. If you hit cancel on one that's already existing, that updates the current one. It'll take you directly to this screen so that you can change the posting date or the number remaining if needed. We don't need to make any changes here, so I'm just going to select Save again. Now it takes us back to our list of memorized transactions. The next date is still the same, but we now can see that we have a new monthly dollar amount, so we know it updated correctly. And that is how to create, process, as well as update memorized transactions. Thanks for joining.